Hello friends, I am Mrs. Manjusha Borauke from Deccan Education Society School. Today I am going to begin with geography subject. You all know that geography is a very scoring subject, and to study geography and score well in geography you need to develop certain skills. So let us see what skills you need to develop in order to score good marks in geography. Let's now move on to our presentation. To study geography, we need to develop some skills like observation, classification, differentiation, comparison, graphs, diagrams, and map reading, evaluation and analysis, drawing conclusions, and critical thinking. We need to use these skills to study the different regions of the world and different facts of geography and achieve the learning outcomes. And through this, we can learn the application of geographical knowledge. So children, once you develop these skills, you will learn that your observations will be different when you visit different areas. For example, when you visit a coastal area, you will find the difference in the altitude, the climate, the crops grown over there, the recreational activities, the occupations of the people, the food habits of the people, and the difference in the clothing, the industries, etc. When you go to a mountainous region, you will find that all these details will be different from that you have observed of a coastal area. Your classification will depend on your observations, right? You may compare your data and you may draw conclusions and differentiate on the basis of the information that you have collected. You will be able to learn how to use maps to find the location of different places. You will be able to put all this information in the form of graphs or maps. The knowledge of geography will definitely help you to understand the geographical facts as well as all the other things related to these facts. And I'm sure all these information will be useful to you throughout your life. Now children, you all are aware that in your geography textbook, you have 9 lessons to study. The distribution of marks lesson wise will be as follows. Lesson number 1, field visit. Lesson number 2, location and extent. Lesson number 3, physiography and drainage. Lesson number 4, climate. And lesson number 8, economy and occupations will be for 4 marks each. Lesson number 5, natural vegetation and wildlife. Lesson number 6, population. Lesson number 7, human settlements. And lesson number 9, tourism, transport and communication will be for 5 marks each. In all, we'll have a written paper of 40 marks, out of which 26 marks questions will be only objective. 14 marks will be allotted for subjective questions. Now let us try to understand the question paper pattern. The paper pattern of geography will be as follows. Question number 1 will be for 4 marks. Any 1 or 2 type of question types will be asked. Choose the correct options. Identify the correlation and make a chain. Pick the correct option. Establish the correlation between 2 sentences through the correct options. Question number 2 will be for 4 marks. Any 1 or 2 type of question types will be asked. Match the correct pairs. Identify the incorrect or wrong pair. Complete the series. Arrange the sentences in correct sequence. Identify the odd man out. Question number 3 will be for 4 marks. Any 1 question type will be asked. Answer in 1 sentence. Identify the type on the basis of the statement. Name the following. Differentiate between, say right or wrong and correct the wrong ones. classify the following. Question number 4A, any one question type will be asked. Fill the map and make an index. Prepare a map with the help of the given information. Question number 4B will again be for 4 marks. Answer the following questions on the basis of the given map. Question number 5 will be give geographical reasons. Your each reason must at least have 2 to 3 points. Question number 6A, any 2 question types will be asked as A or B for 6 marks. Draw a diagram. Draw 1 out of 2 diagrams. Fill names in the diagram and identify the landforms. Or there's an option for this question. Question 6B will be answer the following by reading the graph. Here you have to read the graph thoroughly and attempt any 3 out of the 6 questions given, and you have to draw a graph with the help of the given statistical information. Now here you have to be very careful. Try to understand what graph is asked and draw it accordingly. See whether you have to draw a line graph or a bar graph, and you can score full marks in these questions. Question number 7 is for 8 marks. Any one type of question will be asked from the following. You can attempt any 2 out of the 4 given questions. The question types can be answer in detail, answer in brief. Now children, this is the question paper type. There are certain instructions I would like to give you. If you go through your entire textbook, you will find that the whole textbook is activity oriented. If you complete all the activities given in the textbook, it will be easy for you to understand the lesson in a better way and answer your question paper in a better way. And you will be able to score 40 out of 40 marks in the exam. You are allowed to use stencils for your answers for question number 5, that is give geographical reasons, and question number 7 can be answer in detail or answer in brief and explain. You are also allowed to use color pencils to show the locations in the map. Practice the graphs given in the textbook. Read the lessons thoroughly and complete all the activities given in the textbook. The most important thing is your handwriting and your presentation. Write your paper in good and legible handwriting. Start a new question on a new page and write all the answers in points. So children, now we move on to chapter 1, field visit. Today I am going to take you on a virtual field visit from Naldurga village in Osmanabad district to Alibag. Now, what can you see in this picture? Yes, you can see a boy sitting in a van, and he is very excited as he is going on a field visit. Children, if you read the first chapter, you will find that the entire chapter is in dialogue form. So I will narrate the lesson in short in very simple words for you. According to the dialogues given in the lesson, we understand that Rahul and his classmates are going on a field visit with their class teacher from Naldurga village, which lies in Tulzapur Tehsil of Osmanabad district in the interiors of Maharashtra to Alibag on the western coast of Maharashtra. This region is a rain shadow region with a very hot and dry climate. As the journey begins, the teacher instructs them to note down their observations in a diary. The map here shows the route from Naldurga to Alibag. It's a long journey of about 438 kilometers. On their way, they pass through different places like Solapur, Indapur, Urari Kanchan. Then they turn to the left from Hadapsar and go to Sinhagad Fort, which is a hill fort. After seeing the fort, they come back to Pune and take a halt there for the night. The next day, via Mumbai-Pune Expressway, they go to Lonavala, then Khopoli, and finally they reach Alibag. Now children, let's see a few images of the different places that these children visited and saw during their field visit. As they begin their journey, they see the vegetation of the semi-arid regions and the cultivation of pulses in and around Solapur region. They also see the Ujni Dam and the reservoir on the way. The vegetation differs as they move towards Pune as well as the topography of the land. Here they see the sugarcane fields and the paddy fields. The topography of the land around the Sahyadris is rugged and hilly. They see a lot of devrais and vanrais, that is the sacred groves in the Sahyadris. They also notice the change in the climate and the crops grown in the different regions. They notice the different kinds of houses at different places. Some have sloping roofs, some have flat roofs according to the rainfall in that particular region. They are excited to see the Sinhagad Fort and the Khadakwasla Dam on the way. They visit the historical places in Pune like the Shaniwar Wada, Mahatma Phule Mandai, and they enjoy shopping at Tulsi Bagh. Then, via Mumbai-Pune Expressway, they go to Alibag. On the way, they enjoy the greenery, the waterfalls, and the scenic beauty of the Western Ghats. And finally, they reach Alibag and visit the different places there like the Kulaba Fort and the Alibag beach. So children, this is what we understand when we read the lesson. We come to know that learning geography becomes more enjoyable when we go on a field visit. Field visits are an important method in the study of geography. Now let's see what is the definition of a field visit. Field visit is an educational procedure. Learners learn by obtaining first-hand information or experiences. By observing places, objects, and geographical features in their natural surroundings. Now, what is the purpose of the field visit? The main purpose of the field visit is to provide real-life situations for first-hand information. To understand various geographical concepts, elements, and processes through direct personal experiences. To understand correlations between humans and environment. To study the economical, historical, social and cultural aspects of the selected field. To supplement classroom instructions. Now, what sites can we select for the field visits? The site for the field visit should be selected according to your syllabus. We can select sites such as ancient monuments, factories, dams, coastal areas, farms, etc. The main purpose is to give practical knowledge and first-hand experience and enrich the classroom teaching. In this image, you can see that the children have gone on a field visit to a fort. The second image shows you that the children have gone to a dairy farm. The third image shows that they have gone out in the coastal areas or on some farms. The third image shows you that the children have visited the Tamini Ghat. Now, before you go on a field visit, you need to prepare a good questionnaire which will help you to collect the required data as per the purpose of the field visit. The questionnaire will differ according to the site of the visit. For example, if you are visiting a dam, you can ask questions such as what is the name of the dam, where is the dam located, on which river is it built, what are the catchment areas, when was the dam built, is it a multi-purpose project, what is the name of the reservoir, and so on. If you are going to visit a factory, your questionnaire will be different. It will have questions such as where is the factory located, when was the factory started, by whom, from where do they get the raw materials, what is the finished product in the factory, how many workers are working there in the factory, what measures are taken to ensure the safety of the employees, how are the finished goods sent to the market. A lot of efforts are needed while planning a field visit. First of all, you should select the place to be visited or the site for the field visit. Then you have to fix the date and the day for the visit and the schedule of the visit. Seek permission. You have to seek the permission of the concerned authorities and the parents as well. Get the consent letters from the parent. Collect the information about the place, make arrangements for the transport and the meals of the student, also make arrangements for the lodging and boarding, and make arrangements for the waste management that will be created during the field visit. Now, before or after the field visit, you need to collect information. So from what sources will you collect the information? You can collect the information from teachers, the local offices, through your keen observation and through the internet. Preparing for the field visit is equally important. Along with your personal belongings, you should carry all the essential things shown in the image like a camera, a water bottle, a notebook, a pen, a pencil, a specimen questionnaire, binoculars, a compass to check the directions, a bag or a container to collect samples of soil or rocks, a map, first aid box, a cap, a pair of goggles and clothes according to the season. Nowadays, you can also carry a mobile phone with you, which will keep you connected with your parents and also give you the GPS app, which will help you to direct you to a particular place. Now, precautions to be taken during the field visit. The first and foremost important precaution to be taken is you should ensure your as well as others' safety. You should carry your own identity card and a first aid box in case of emergency. You will have to be very careful while conversing with the local people. You will strictly follow the instructions given by the teacher. You will manage the waste properly that is generated by you during the field visit. You will also ensure that you do not harm the environment. You should avoid polluting the place and you will behave like a responsible citizen and take care of the ecosystems in whichever place you visit. Now, what are the advantages of the field visit? The first important advantage of the field visit is that it gives you first-hand information. It gives you practical knowledge. It enriches classroom teaching. It motivates the learner to be more creative and interactive. It removes the boredom of classroom teaching. Importance of the field visit. The field visit helps in understanding the various geographical concepts, elements, and processes through direct personal experiences. It helps in understanding the correlation between humans and environment. It helps in enhancing and understanding the environment in a better way. It sensitizes us about historical, economic, social, and cultural facts of the site. It makes the study of geography more interesting and supports the application of knowledge and classroom teaching. It helps in collecting the data for the projects given by the teacher. It helps the students to understand the topic in a better way by seeing it. It is an important study method in geography. Information to be collected. Now, there is a lot of information that you can collect before and after the visit. You will collect information regarding the physical and cultural environment of the place, the physiography of the places visited, the sources of water and irrigation facilities, the climate, vegetation, soils, crops, human settlements, types or pattern of human settlements, and occupations. After your visit, you will prepare a report of the visit which will include the aims and objectives of the visit in the introduction part. You will give a detailed information about the pre-planning of the visit and also a synopsis of the data collected during the visit. The following points should be considered while writing a report on the field visit. Introduction. Details of the site of the field visit and the location of the site. The purpose of the field visit. The details of the pre-planning of the field visit. Information on the basis of the data collected before and after the visit related to vegetation, agriculture, population, soil, settlements, occupations, etc. Any other specific information about the site. References. Photographs of the topography of the place, vegetation and livestock found there. This report will be written on the basis of the facts there and the observations made during the visit. Thus, your field visit will be complete after you write the report. So children, I hope you have understood this lesson in detail. Now, what type of questions are you supposed to prepare for this lesson? For this lesson, you will prepare personal response type questions, right? This lesson is for 4 marks and hence the different types of questions that you will prepare for this lesson are, for example, prepare a report of a field visit to a particular place, prepare a questionnaire for a field visit to a dam or a factory or any other site as given in the question. The next question can be, what preparations will you make for a field visit? The fourth question can be, write a report of the field visit that you have completed in standard 10. So these are the different types of questions which you will have to prepare for this lesson. If you try to understand the lesson thoroughly and refer to the notes that are given in the presentation, you will definitely be able to write the answers to all the types of questions asked. I request you to read the lesson thoroughly and answer the questions in points so that you get full marks for these questions. Thank you. So children, I hope you have understood the lesson properly. Try to read the lesson again and you can make use of the slides and the information given in the slides to write the answers to the questions related to this lesson. Do follow all the instructions that I have given you, and I wish you all the best for your exams, and I wish that you score full marks in the geography paper. Thank you.